And now let's talk about gluten, because that's the other no-no, and I do feel that. I mean, just this morning, it's very difficult in France, because you get this, as you were saying as well, being a foodie and being very
He knows.
That's ginger man. We're not talking about meat yet. I'm talking about gluten. I just wanted to talk about gluten for a minute as well, because that's another no-no. And actually, Hannah's got some really good, again, gluten-free recipes, which is going to be great in her book. We'll get to meat in a minute. And she's got some nice places where you can get, say, oats, beautiful gluten-free oats that you can soak overnight. And it's okay to cheat now and again, I think, and Hannah would agree with that.
I usually say 80-20, so as long as 80% of your diet is predominantly good, you can get away with the 20%, Otherwise, it has to be, apart from you, we would never eat you.
No, we're never going to eat you.
It's not the 20% but it has to be long-term, everything's about making it long-term sustainable.
Absolutely.
And ensuring that it's something that fits in with your life. And by cutting everything out, you don't want to be sat there miserable, not entertaining guests anymore, sat in a restaurant not being able to order anything, because that just doesn't make anybody happy.
I mean, I think it's that thing, and once you take your mind, headset goes off all the sugary stuff as well, and you see it as a treat rather than a continuation. We just had croissants this morning, because of course in France, Hannah arrived yesterday, makes pancakes, and then we have croissants. But actually, when I am eating the croissants, I love the initial hit of it, but there are certain foods that definitely bring you down.
Pasta. Pasta is a big one. Wheat pasta for me. You feel bloated, you feel sluggish. And there are so many great alternatives, like over here, quinoa pasta, rice pasta, which don't give you that horrible after feeling.
And is it, that's the thing, I always think, was that worth it? Sometimes it was. Sometimes it's worth it, but other times it definitely isn't. I'm going to now just finish off talking about meat, since Ginger Man's here. Now, you don't eat meat at all.
No, but to be fair, that wasn't necessarily a part of my 2-year journey into clear skin. I've not eaten meat since I was 13 because of the little lambs in the fields behind the school.
Yes.
So that was an ethical and a bit of teenage stubbornness, I think, at the time, but it was also an ethical consideration for me. I did eat fish for a while, and still sometimes do if I'm out in a restaurant, because again, sometimes the only vegetarian choice is macaroni cheese, and I'd rather eat fresh fish in a salad. But for me, it's the ethical side of meat. The other thing is meat's very acidic and has a very acidic effect on the body, whereas it's better to sort of stick to a predominantly alkaline diet.
So interesting, in fact, one of the things for ME diets is definitely the paleo diet, which is very meat-based, and I've been on very meat-based, and I also did the blood type diet as well, and then it said to have meat as well on that, because I can't remember what type I was. But again, that's an interesting thing on your diet. I won't be having any meat, will I, for a whole month?
No, and the thing with, following something like the paleo plan, again, it's supposed to follow caveman principles.
Yeah.
Now, that for me would have been hunting and enjoying the odd piece of meat, because they wouldn't have caught meat for 3 meals a day.
No.
So I too follow predominantly paleo, but I use a lot of nuts, a lot of seeds, a lot of vegetables, and a lot of fruit.
Yeah.
Although it's sort of transformed into this very meat-heavy diet, it needn't be. It can be occasional meat. And it's the same on the sort of acidic alkaline principle. Try and predominantly eat the alkaline meats, which are things like lean meats, chicken, turkey, and sorry Ginger Man, and not the heavy red meats, which will sit in your system for too long. And again, your system will be so busy digesting those. It's working too hard.
And especially when you do have something, you have a disease, obviously you don't want your body to work. You want to make it easy on your body, really, on that sense.
And your body, you need the energy to heal, rather than that energy being used to try and digest food that sits heavy in your system for a long time. So very little meat, predominantly
My husband's not going to be very happy, because he loves the whole venison stew and everything. But it's going to be very interesting I don't think I've ever gone 30 days without meat, so that's going to be very interesting. I've always wanted to see if that would work for me. So this is going to be quite a different diet from the paleo diet, so I'm quite looking forward to that. So we've talked quite a bit about people with problems and diseases, but obviously the healthy person is going to really benefit from putting this into their body, so they're just going to get that more energy than they actually have. You don't need to be ill, do you, to eat like
No, and quite often a lot of people don't realise they're ill or that they're building up toxins in the body anyway. So to do an elimination diet and a diet that's predominantly alkaline, you're strengthening your system, you're building energy for yourself anyway. Everybody is going to feel good on a diet that's, plant focused, predominantly alkaline, lots of fresh, healthy fruit and vegetables. It will benefit anyone. The thing with skin is it's such a visible difference.
Yeah.
So for me, the people that have followed it, the people that have followed my social networks, Twitter and Instagram, have seen such brilliant results that I think it's incredible to show those results so that people who aren't necessarily ill or who've got something that's a little less visible like me.
I think we'll show some pictures on the YouTube. And also, of course, because it's going from in out. So if it's gone that far and it's gone to the skin, then surely it's going to really help. This is all obvious stuff really, because lots of people are on healthy diets, but I think it just is going a step further to making it a way of life. I just want to ask one more thing. Do you need to take all your vitamins and your multivitamins? If you're getting all the nutrients from your food, do you need to continue taking all your vitamins?
As part of this diet, because it was specifically skin focused, there were things like zinc and vitamin D3, especially in countries where you're not getting as much sunshine, that are or were essential at the start. I now take no vitamins and no extra supplements. I get everything I need from foods. But obviously if your system's damaged, if you're starting from a weak point, it is important to add those specific vitamins.
So could you tell me, because obviously it costs quite a lot of money to just have all these vitamins, and I mean I've been on so many different things and I've spent a fortune on them. If I just said I had 3 vitamins that I need to take, I'm going to say what I would think I would say would be magnesium. Isn't that a big one?
Magnesium's a good one, yeah.
And you just said zinc and vitamin D.
But again, things are specifically good, for certain problems. So vitamin D, especially for skin in a country where you're lacking sunshine, whereas here, you wouldn't need to take vitamin D.
No, just go out there.
Just
We've
go
had to
outside.
shut all the shutters, it's so hot today.
So exactly, you've got, vitamin D in the back garden. So, why would you spend money on adding a vitamin like that? The other thing is, for me, better than any of these vitamins is drinking a green juice every morning with fresh spinach, kale, tons of greens, things like broccoli. Those are the best vitamins, and they're, coming in as part of a whole food, as part of a complex set of nutrients.
You were talking about a juicer, because I've actually got quite a lot of different types of juicers, and we've just bought the Bullet, and my husband's not going to be pleased with this, because Hannah's actually just told me the best thing to get, which just you put in the whole pineapple, and it absolutely separates it for you. What's
it extracts the juice. So these are juicers, and they're whole fruit or wide shoot juicers.
Right.
The thing with that is it makes it simple. It's something you're going to use every day. Slow juicers are brilliant because they extract everything at a slow rate. Everything spins slowly and extracts the fruit, the juice properly. But the thing with the whole fruit juicers is, and the wide shoot ones, is they're so easy to use. So it's not going to be something that's stuffed at the back of the cupboard because it's a nightmare to
that's
use.
huge, because, I can wake up feeling really, really very low in energy, and I want to take all of this in, but the thought of getting out my juicer and getting all the parts out and doing the whole thing is too much. So in the end, I might not do that, and I'll take my vitamins. So you want to make it really easy. So you want
and the Bullet is good for that. The Bullet is good.
Yeah.
It's just that it makes a very thick, because it doesn't extract, because it blitzes everything in one go, it can sometimes be a little bit difficult and not as palatable for people to begin with, because drinking, a spinach sludge, which is in effect what it is, can be quite difficult to manage for some people.
No, that's quite good. So you want to keep that on your kitchen counter all the time. And then obviously get organic vegetables, I presume. Where you can.
Preferably if you can. If you can't, and especially, for some people, money might be a factor, or access to organic fruit and veg. Just wash them as best you can. Make sure that
you
all
can
those
buy
chemicals
things,
are washed.
can't you, that can help take away.
Or you can soak them in something like apple cider vinegar. That again will
keep it natural. That's good. Apple cider vinegar, that's another one. Is that good to take?
High alkaline. So again, anything that keeps your system alkaline.
And so is it good to sort of drink that during the day?
If you can.
I love it.
Oh, okay,
I love anything
perfect.
that gives you this hit, because I don't really get away. I can't cheat with anything, So instead of the whiskey, I might just go behind and have a shot of apple cider vinegar.
The other one that's really good, and this is for a juicer and not a NutriBullet, is a ginger shot in the morning, and that's a chunk of ginger, a chunk of lemon, and a whole pear. You push it through the juicer and you neck it like a shot.
Love it. You see, they're the companies I can get off on now. It used to be tequila, and now I have to do this kind of stuff. But,
you and me both.
Yeah, we've been there, done it. We've both been party girls, thank God. Here's the darling, I'm totally in love with Charlie. Charlie, he smiles all the time and he purrs all the time too. So goodbye from Charlie and goodbye from us.